Have you ever woken up with a sadness that you know isn't yours? It's a strange weight, isn't it? A feeling that has no source in your own life, a flicker of a memory of a place you've never seen, or a dream that feels so real, so ancient, it leaves an echo in your soul for days. The modern world tells us to dismiss these moments, to call them stress, anxiety, or mere fantasy. But deep down, you sense it's something more. You feel the pull of an ancient current, a story that was started long before you were born, and you are not alone in this feeling. It is a quiet call from the past, waiting to be heard. In this space today, we will talk about the truth behind these ancestral dreams. We will explore how the experiences, the joys, and the sorrows of those who came before you are not lost to time. They are woven into your very being, into the code of your DNA, whispering to you in your quietest moments. You will come to understand that these feelings are not random. They are a form of memory, a living history inside of you. This is the story of how the past doesn't just shape you, it lives within you. If this feeling resonates with you, share a word in the comments about an experience you couldn't explain. This is a space to speak of the things often dismissed by the waking world, and your story can be a light for another who feels the same. I invite you to subscribe, to continue this journey with us as we uncover the ancient knowledge that resides not in old books, but within your own spirit. The great thinker Carl Jung once said, "The psyche is not of today. Its ancestry goes back many millions of years." He wasn't speaking of simple history or the facts you learn in school. He was speaking of a living inheritance. Jung understood that your mind, your soul, is not a blank slate at your birth. It is more like an ancient library, filled with the stories, the instincts, and the deep unspoken knowledge of countless generations. This quote reminds us that what you feel, the unexplained fears, the sudden wisdom, the dreams of unknown faces, is the voice of that ancestry reaching into your present moment. So let us walk this path together and begin to listen to what your own blood remembers. Chapter 1, The Unseen Inheritance. So, let us begin at the true beginning, not the day of your birth, but the ages that conspired to bring you into being. We are taught to think of our inheritance as a simple, physical transaction. You receive a parcel of traits from your parents, and they from theirs. You have your grandmother's eyes, your father's temperament, your mother's resilience. These are the known quantities, the things we can point to and say, this is where that comes from. We see our lineage reflected in the mirror, and we believe this is the whole story. But it is not. It is merely the cover of a book that is thousands of pages long. The most profound inheritance is the one that is unseen. It is the legacy carried not in the color of your eyes, but in the depths of your spirit. It is the echo in an empty room, the faint scent of a memory you have not lived. It is the true source of that question we began with, that sadness, that joy, that fear that visits you and feels in its core ancient. Think of a great old river. As it flows, it gathers minerals and silt from every land it touches. Its water is not just water, it is a liquid history of its journey from the mountain spring to the vast ocean. You are that river. Your life, your consciousness is the water. But within you, you carry the traces of every generation your lineage has passed through. The iron of their will, the salt of their tears, the gold of their moments of transcendence. This is not poetry. It is the fundamental nature of your existence. We have forgotten this. We live in an age that celebrates the individual above all else. We are told we are self-made, that we are the sole authors of our lives, that our minds are blank slates upon which only our own experiences are written. It is a powerful idea, but it is also a lonely one. It disconnects us from the immense strength and wisdom of our roots. It tells us that any feeling we cannot trace to a specific event in our own life must be a flaw, a malfunction, a chemical imbalance. But what if it is not a flaw? What if it is a message? What if that unexplained melancholy is not your depression, but the echo of an ancestor's heartbreak, a story of loss that was never fully mourned? And in feeling it, you are giving it the space to finally be at peace. What if that sudden surge of courage in the face of adversity is not just your own, but the collected bravery of 1,000 ancestors who faced their own trials and endured. This is the invisible inheritance. It is the emotional and energetic DNA that flows through you. It is the quiet whisper beneath the noise of your daily thoughts. You have been taught to ignore it. Today, we will learn to listen. Chapter 2. The Body as the Keeper of Truth. The mind is a powerful tool. It builds civilizations. It writes symphonies. It dreams of the stars. But the mind is also a master of deception. It builds walls. It creates stories to protect itself from truths it is not ready to face. It will tell you, "I am fine," even when your entire being is screaming that you are not. The mind rationalizes. It analyzes. It edits your reality. The body, however, does not know how to lie. Your body is the most honest thing you will ever possess. It is the physical archive of your entire lineage. It is the resonant chamber through which the echoes of the past can still be felt. It remembers everything, not in words or images, but in pure sensation. Consider the language it speaks. A knot in your stomach when you are about to make a decision. A sudden heaviness in your shoulders when you walk into a certain house. A flash of heat, a sudden chill, a tingling in your hands. We dismiss these things as random firings of our nervous system. We take a pill, we distract ourselves, we push through. But you must understand, this is communication. This is the oldest language on Earth. Before we had words, we had sensations. Our earliest ancestors survived because they listened to this language. A feeling in the gut told them which plant was poison and which was food. A prickling on the back of the neck warned them of a predator in the shadows. Their bodies were their guides, their oracles. And that same ancient wise system exists within you now. It has not gone away. It has just been ignored. Science is now discovering the mechanisms for this. They speak of cellular memory, the idea that our very cells can store information from experiences. They speak of epigenetics, how the trauma or triumph of an ancestor can leave a chemical marker on your genes, instructing your body to be more vigilant, more resilient, more prone to anxiety, or more open to joy. An ancestor who lived through a great famine may have passed down to you a set of genetic instructions that cause your body to store fat more efficiently. In your world of abundance, this may manifest as a struggle with your weight. It is not a weakness. It is the echo of their struggle for survival. An ancestor who had to flee their home and cross an ocean may have passed down a restlessness, a deep-seated feeling that you must always be ready to move. You may call it an inability to settle down. It is the echo of their journey. Look at your own fears, the common ones, the fear of snakes, of spiders, of heights, of enclosed spaces. For many, these fears have no root in personal experience. You were not bitten by a snake or trapped in a small room. So where does the terror come from? It comes from the collective. It is the memory of millions of years of survival, a time when these things were a constant and lethal threat. Your body remembers this danger, even if your conscious mind does not. It is a gift of ancient love, a primal warning system designed to keep you safe. The body is the living history book. Every ache, every tension, every unexplained reaction is a word on its pages. And to understand your ancestral dreams, you must first learn to read this book. You must learn to speak the language of your own body. Chapter 3. The Great Forgetting. If this is so natural, so fundamental to our being, then why have we become so deaf to it? Why does this conversation sound strange, even radical to the modern ear? We live in an age I call the Great Forgetting. It is an age of noise, the constant hum of electricity, the endless scroll of information on a screen, the pressure to be productive, to be connected, to be always performing. Our attention is perpetually pulled outward, away from our inner landscape. We have become consumers of experience rather than participants in our own deep inner life. There is no silence, and without silence, the whispers of the past cannot be heard. Think of it this way. To see the stars, the sky must be dark. If you live in the heart of a great city with its millions of lights, you may look up and see only a handful of the brightest stars. You may even forget that the vast, swirling majesty of the Milky Way is even there. It has not vanished. It is simply obscured by the artificial light you have created. The noise of modern life is that city light. It obscures the vast, ancient constellations of memory and feeling that exist within you. Furthermore, we are taught to devalue what we cannot see and measure. We trust data, charts, and diagnoses. We have outsourced our intuition to experts and algorithms. If a feeling cannot be named in a medical textbook or explained by a scientific paper, it is deemed illegitimate, unreal. It's all in your head, they say. And this is the most tragic misdirection of all. It is not in your head. It is in your blood, your bones, your very cells. This great forgetting is not anyone's fault. It is not a conspiracy. It is the byproduct of a particular path humanity has taken, a path of incredible technological achievement and intellectual growth. But in our rush to build the future, we have severed our connection to the source. We have become like beautiful, cut flowers in a vase, unaware that we are no longer connected to the roots that gave us life. And so we feel a sense of being unmoored, of floating, of a deep, unnamed homesickness. That feeling of being spiritually homeless, of not quite belonging anywhere, is the primary symptom of the great forgetting. It is the soul's cry for its roots. It is the call that brought you here to this space to listen to these words. It is the first sign that you are ready to remember. Chapter 4. The first steps in listening. Remembering is not an intellectual exercise. You cannot think your way back to this connection. You must feel it. You must practice the art of listening with your whole being. This is not complex. It requires no special tools or beliefs. It requires only your gentle, patient attention. Here are the first steps on this path. The first step is stillness. You must create moments of darkness to see the stars. Just for 5 minutes a day, find a quiet place, sit down, close your eyes. Do not try to meditate. Do not try to empty your mind. Do not seek enlightenment. Simply do nothing. Your only task is to notice. Notice the sounds around you. Notice the feeling of the air on your skin. And then bring your attention inward. Notice the landscape of your body. Is there a tightness in your jaw, a flutter in your stomach, a warmth in your hands, a coolness in your feet? Do not judge these sensations. Do not name them. Do not try to fix them. Simply notice them. Greet them as you would greet a passing stranger on the street. Ah, there is tightness. Hello, tightness. I see you, flutter. This practice over time resensitizes you to the body's language. It turns down the volume of the outside world and turns up the volume of your inner world. The second step is curiosity. When a strong or unexplained emotion arises during your day, a sudden wave of grief, a surge of anger, a deep feeling of peace, pause for a single breath. Instead of being swept away by it or pushing it down, meet it with a gentle question. Ask it inwardly, are you entirely mine? Or what story do you carry? Do not demand an answer. The point is not to get an immediate reply. The point is to change your relationship with the feeling. You are shifting from being a victim of the emotion to being a compassionate witness. You are opening a dialogue. You are acknowledging that this feeling might have a history, a depth that extends beyond the immediate moment. You are treating it with respect. You are treating your own inner world with the reverence it deserves. The third step is journaling. Keep a small notebook, not a diary of your thoughts, but a logbook of your body's signals. When you practice your stillness, or when you ask your curious question, write down what you felt, not a long story, just a few words. Morning. Sat for 5 minutes. Felt a deep ache in my lower back, a feeling of old sadness. Afternoon. Spoke with my boss. Felt a knot in my throat like I couldn't speak. Over weeks and months, you will begin to see patterns. You will see how your body responds to certain people, certain environments, certain thoughts. You will begin to map your own invisible inheritance. This logbook becomes your personal Rosetta Stone, the key that helps you translate the ancient language of your body into a wisdom you can use in your daily life. These are not tasks to be completed. They are practices to be lived. They are a gentle returning, a turning inward. They are the beginning of the end of the great forgetting. You are simply learning to listen to the truth that has been patiently waiting inside you all along. You are learning to read the story written in your own blood, the story of how you came to be. Chapter 5: The Two Gates of Sleep. In the quiet sanctuary of sleep, your conscious mind, the guardian of your waking reality, finally rests. Its grip loosens. The walls it so carefully maintains begin to dissolve. And in this sacred pause, another part of you is allowed to speak. This is the realm of dreams. But not all dreams are the same. To listen for the whispers of your ancestors, you must first learn to distinguish between the two great streams of consciousness that flow through you in the night. The ancients knew of this. They spoke of two gates from which dreams emerge. We can think of them as the dreams that process and the dreams that reveal. The first gate sends you the dreams that process. These are the most common. They are the mind's essential housekeeping. Your brain takes the events of the day, the conversations, the anxieties, the hopes, the images you scrolled past, and it sorts through them. It files, it connects, it discards. These dreams are often chaotic, illogical, surreal. You dream of being late for an exam at a school you haven't attended in 20 years, but your boss is the teacher and your teeth are falling out. This is your mind digesting the stress of a deadline, the feeling of being judged, the fear of losing control. These dreams are important. They are a sign of a healthy mind cleaning itself. They are the noise of the workshop. We honor them and then we let them go. But there is a second gate, and from this gate come the dreams that reveal. These are the ancestral dreams. You know them by their feeling, by their texture. They are different. They possess a strange and haunting clarity, a quality of hyper-reality, even if the events within them are impossible. The colors are more vivid. The emotions are immensely powerful and pure, and they linger with you for hours or even days after you wake. An ancestral dream does not feel like it was created by you. It feels like it was shown to you. It feels like a visitation. You might dream of a person you have never seen, yet you feel an overwhelming sense of love and familiarity, as if you are meeting a beloved family member for the first time. You might dream of a landscape, a windswept coastline, a dense forest, a sun-baked desert, and you know with a certainty that defies logic that this place is your home, even though you have never been there. You might hear a piece of music or a phrase in a language you do not speak, and it fills you with a profound sense of peace or urgency. These are not the mind's chatter. This is the signal. This is the deep consciousness of your lineage, the library of your blood, using the symbolic language of dreams to communicate with you. These dreams are the bridge. They are the invitations to walk deeper into the story of who you are. Learning to recognize them is the next great step in your journey of remembering. Chapter 6: The Archetypes of Ancestral Memory. When the ancestors speak in dreams, they rarely use plain language. The deep psyche communicates through symbols, through archetypes, universal patterns of experience that all humans understand on a subconscious level. By learning to recognize these archetypes, you can begin to understand the messages they carry. One of the most common ancestral dreams is the dream of the unknown house. You find yourself in a house. It is undeniably your house, yet you have never seen it before. You explore its rooms. Some rooms are bright and familiar, representing the parts of yourself you know well. But then you discover a new wing, a hidden staircase, a door you never knew existed. This house is a map of your soul and also a map of your lineage. Each room can represent a different ancestor, a different branch of the family tree, or a different era in your family's history. If you find a room that is dusty, neglected, and filled with broken things, you may be connecting with a part of your lineage that holds unhealed sorrow or trauma. The dream is not meant to frighten you. It is an invitation to bring light and air into that space. To begin a process of psychic and spiritual cleaning, your attention is the light. If you find a locked door and you feel a great curiosity or fear about what is behind it, this often represents a forgotten family secret or a latent talent within your lineage that has been suppressed. It could be a gift for art, for healing, for leadership that an ancestor was forced to abandon. The dream asks, are you willing to find the key? The key is often your courage to face what has been hidden. Another powerful archetype is the wise elder. You dream of an old man or woman. You may not recognize their face, but you feel a profound sense of wisdom and unconditional love from them. They may not speak at all. They might simply look at you with kindness or hand you an object, a key, a seed, a cup of water. This figure is the embodiment of your ancestral guide. It is the collected wisdom of your line, personified. It appears when you are at a crossroads, when you are in need of reassurance, or when you are ready to receive a new level of understanding. The feeling this figure gives you is the message. It is a reminder that you are not alone, that you are supported by a deep well of ancestral strength. The object they give you is a symbol of what you need, the key to a new understanding, the seed of a new potential, the water of emotional healing. Consider also the dream of the journey or pilgrimage. You are walking, or on a boat, or on a train. You are on a long journey. You may not know the destination, but you feel a powerful sense of purpose. The terrain may be difficult, a steep mountain, a raging river, a dense and dark forest. This dream is often a direct echo of an ancestor's physical journey. The great migrations, the flights from war or famine, the voyages to a new world, these epic events are seared into the family soul. Your dream may be allowing you to feel the hope, the terror, and the incredible resilience of that journey. It connects you to the strength that is your birthright. Pay attention to how you feel on this journey. Do you feel lost and alone? Or do you feel determined and guided? The dream may be showing you the emotional struggles of your ancestors, asking for your witness, or it may be reminding you of the incredible fortitude that flows in your veins. These are just a few of the great archetypes. Your dreams will have their own unique symbols. The key is to approach them not as puzzles to be solved, but as sacred stories to be felt. Chapter 7. The feeling is the message. Here is the most important secret to understanding the language of dreams. You must stop trying to analyze the symbols and start paying attention to the feeling. Our modern minds are obsessed with interpretation. We wake up from a strange dream and immediately reach for a dream dictionary. I dreamed of a black horse. What does a black horse mean? The book might tell you it means death or power or the untamed unconscious. This is an intellectual exercise. It keeps you in your head. It keeps you disconnected from the dream's true power. The truth is, the symbol is only the vessel. The feeling is the message. The next time you wake from a powerful dream, before you do anything else, lie still. Close your eyes again. Do not replay the plot of the dream. Instead, ask your body, how did I feel in that dream? Let's return to the black horse. Did you feel terror as it galloped towards you? Or did you feel an exhilarating sense of freedom as you rode upon its back? Did you feel a quiet sense of awe at its wild beauty? The horse is not the point. The feeling is the point. Terror might be the echo of an ancestor's fear, a warning passed down. Freedom might be your lineage calling you to break free from a restriction in your own life. Awe might be a reminder of the wild, untamed power that exists within your own soul. The same symbol can have 100 different meanings, and the only true meaning is the one your heart and your body recognize. If you dream of water, was it a calm, clear lake that made you feel peaceful? Or was it a dark, raging flood that made you feel helpless and overwhelmed? The feeling tells you about the state of your emotional inheritance. Peace suggests a lineage of emotional clarity and strength you can draw upon. Feeling overwhelmed suggests there may be a tide of ancestral grief that is asking to be acknowledged and calmed through your own healing work. Let go of the need to figure it out. You are not a detective solving a crime. You are a soul listening to a symphony. You don't ask what a single note means. You allow the entire composition to wash over you and feel the emotional landscape it creates. When you wake, write down the feeling first. Before you write down a single character or event, write down the core emotion. Woke up feeling a deep, quiet grief. Woke up feeling a sense of fierce determination. Woke up feeling completely safe and held. This is the headline of the message. The rest of the dream is just the details of the story. Trust the feeling. The feeling is the sacred truth. Chapter 8. Inviting the dialogue. Up to this point, we have spoken of listening. We have spoken of receiving dreams. But this does not have to be a passive process. You can become an active participant. You can invite the dialogue. You can signal to the deep ancestral parts of your consciousness that you are ready and willing to listen. This is not about controlling your dreams. It is about creating a space of welcome. It is about opening a door and trusting that whatever needs to come through for your highest good will appear. This is done through the quiet power of intention. I will share with you a simple practice. Call it a ritual if you like. It is to be done in the last few moments before you fall asleep. After you have turned off the lights and your head is on the pillow, close your eyes. Take 3 slow, deep breaths. With each breath, let go of the day. Let go of the worries, the plans, the noise. Feel yourself sinking into your body, into the present moment. Then instead of letting your mind drift into random thoughts, gently hold a question in your heart. Do not think it with your analytical mind. Feel it as a gentle, open curiosity. The question should be simple and come from a place of humility. You might ask, which ancestor has wisdom for me now? You might ask, what strength from my lineage do I need to help me with my current challenge? Or a very powerful question, what story in my family line is asking for healing through me? Hold this question gently. Do not search for an answer. Simply state your intention to listen. You can phrase it as a simple statement. I am open to any wisdom that serves my healing and the healing of my ancestors. Feel this intention in your entire body. Then let it go. Release it and surrender to sleep. You must be patient. This is like putting a gentle call out across a vast, quiet lake. The echo may take time to return. You may not have a significant dream on the first night or the 10th. It does not matter. The practice itself is what is important. Each night that you set this intention, you are strengthening a connection. You are building a bridge. You are telling the ancient wise parts of yourself that you are no longer ignoring their calls. You are telling the great forgetting that its time is over. You are saying with your whole being, I am ready to remember. And when you practice this consistently, with sincerity and without expectation, the dreams will come. The messages will find you. The dialogue will begin, and your nights will transform from a time of simple rest into a time of profound connection, healing, and discovery. Chapter 9. To honor, not to dwell. So you have begun to listen. You have felt the echoes in your body and seen the stories in your dreams. You may have touched upon great sadness, deep-seated fears, or ancient anger. A natural question arises. What now? Am I doomed to carry this weight forever? Here lies a crucial distinction. The purpose of this work is to honor the past, not to dwell in it. Imagine you have inherited a vast ancient museum. This museum is your lineage. Within its halls are incredible artifacts of joy, courage, and resilience. There are also exhibits displaying great hardship, sorrow, and unresolved conflict. Your work is not to become a ghost, forever haunting the halls of tragedy. Your work is to become the wise and compassionate curator of this museum. The curator walks through every hall. They study the displays. They read the placards. They understand the context of each piece. They ensure the joyful exhibits are polished and well lit. And when they come to a difficult exhibit, a display of trauma or grief, they do not turn away in fear. They also do not smash the glass and lie down amongst the broken shards. Instead, the curator opens the case. They gently clean the artifacts. They let the air circulate. They may mend what is broken. They honor the story the exhibit tells. And by giving it their calm, loving attention, they transform it. It ceases to be an active source of pain and becomes a testament to what was survived. It becomes a story of resilience. This is your role. When an ancestral feeling of sadness washes over you, your task is not to drown in it. It is to say silently to your body, I feel you. I am here with you. I am witnessing this sorrow that was never fully witnessed. By doing this, you are completing an emotional circuit that was left open for generations. You are offering the profound healing balm of presence. You feel it, you honor it, and then you allow it to pass through you, its story finally heard. You are not meant to carry the pain. You are meant to liberate it by meeting it with love. This is the great paradox. By fully facing the feeling, you are finally freed from it. You honor the story, and in doing so, you release yourself and in a symbolic way, your ancestors, from being trapped within it. Chapter 10. The alchemical work of integration. Integration is the sacred art of turning this work into wisdom. It is an alchemy of the soul. Alchemy was the ancient art of turning base metals, like lead, into gold. Our work is to turn the lead of ancestral pain and confusion into the gold of personal strength, compassion, and freedom. This is done not through thinking, but through conscious, symbolic action. One of the most powerful tools for this is what some call active imagination. It is a bridge between the dream world and your waking life. When a powerful dream image or a strong ancestral feeling arises, do not let it simply fade. Set aside a few quiet moments later in the day. Close your eyes. Take a few deep breaths and gently call the image or feeling back to your mind's eye. Let's say you dreamed of that locked door in the unknown house. In your waking meditation, you can now approach that door again. But this time, you are the conscious author. You can study the door. You can touch its wood. You can then imagine finding a key in your pocket. You can place the key in the lock and turn it. You can open the door just a crack and peek inside. You don't have to storm the room. Just peek. Or perhaps you felt the wave of profound, unexplained grief. In your quiet moment, you can allow the feeling to be there, and then imagine a wise, loving figure, perhaps the elder from your dreams, sitting with you and placing a gentle hand on your shoulder. You can allow yourself to be comforted within your own imagination. What you are doing is consciously engaging with the symbols of your unconscious. You are moving from being a passive observer to an active participant in your own healing. You are signaling to your deep psyche that you are ready to resolve these old stories. It is a gentle but incredibly potent way to rewrite the inner narrative. Another part of this alchemy is the ritual of release. Our souls understand the language of ritual. A ritual is simply an action, performed with intention, that gives a physical form to an inner process. When you feel you have truly sat with and honored a difficult ancestral feeling, you can create a simple personal ritual to release it. It does not need to be elaborate. Its power comes from your sincerity. You could take a piece of paper and write down the story or the feeling. You might write, the grief of the one who was left behind, or the fear of the one who had to hide. Write until you feel the emotion has been poured onto the page. Then safely burn the paper. As you watch the smoke rise and disappear into the air, hold the intention that the energy of this old pain is now released, transformed, and returned to the universe as neutral energy. Or you could find a stone, a simple stone from your garden or a park. Hold it in your hand and pour the heavy feeling into it. Tell the stone the story, let it absorb the weight. Then take the stone to a river, a lake, or the ocean. Thank it for its service and release it into the water. As it sinks, visualize the weight being washed clean, returned to the earth. These actions may seem simple to the rational mind, but to the deep psyche, they are powerful declarations. You are stating, I have heard this, I have honored this, and I no longer need to carry this. You are creating a conscious moment of closure. Chapter 11. Claiming the ancestral gifts. This work is not only about healing wounds. To focus only on the pain is to read only half of the library you have inherited. For every story of trauma, there is a story of survival. For every moment of despair, there was a moment of incredible courage. For every loss, there was a profound experience of love. Your lineage is not a burden, it is also a treasure chest. And now you must learn to open it and claim the gifts inside. Just as you have sat with the difficult feelings, you must now create space to connect with the strengths. The resilience, the creativity, the intuition, the compassion, the humor, the stubborn will to live. These are also in your DNA. They are your birthright. Begin to ask new questions in your quiet moments, in your journaling, in your intentions before sleep. Ask, what is the greatest strength my ancestors have passed on to me? Ask, what forgotten gift from my lineage is waiting to be awakened in me? Ask, how can I embody the resilience of those who came before me in my life today? Look at your own life with new eyes. Look at your passions, your strange hobbies, the things that bring you inexplicable joy. That deep love you have for working with the earth in your garden, could it be the echo of a long line of farmers who knew the land as their partner? Your ability to calm a crying child or a nervous animal, could it be the inherited gift of a village healer in your family tree? Your love of storytelling, of music, of building things with your hands, these are not random preferences. They are often the bright, beautiful threads of your lineage shining through you. Claim them. Give thanks for them. When you face a difficult day, you can pause and say, I now call upon the courage of my grandmother who crossed an ocean with nothing but hope. When you feel lost and confused, you can say, I now call upon the intuition of my great-grandfather who always knew which way to turn. You are not making this up. You are activating what is already there. You are consciously choosing to amplify the frequency of strength that exists within your energetic field. By doing this, you shift your entire reality. You stop seeing yourself as a collection of personal and inherited problems, and you begin to experience yourself as a vessel of profound and ancient strengths. Chapter 12, The Woven Self, Becoming the Bridge. So what is the ultimate goal of all this? Where does this path of listening, dreaming, and healing lead? It leads to you becoming a fully integrated human being, the woven self. The woven self is one who is no longer at war with their past. They are not haunted by it, nor are they trying to escape it. They have learned to weave the dark threads of sorrow and the bright threads of joy into a single beautiful tapestry that is their unique life. You are the living bridge between the past and the future. You stand in the present moment, but you are supported by the deep roots of your ancestors. You feel their presence not as a weight, but as the firm ground beneath your feet. You carry their stories not as a burden, but as a library of wisdom from which you can draw at any time. When you do this work, you are not just healing yourself. You are healing backwards and forwards in time. By offering your presence to the unresolved pain of your ancestors, you offer them a symbolic peace. And by clearing this pain and claiming the strengths, you change the legacy you pass on to those who may come after you. You cleanse the waters of the river for the next generation. You become a conscious and healing link in the great chain of being. This is not a task you complete once. It is a way of living. It is a continuous, lifelong dialogue with the depths of your own soul. There will be times the connection feels strong, and times it feels faint. That is the natural rhythm of things. The important part is to continue to practice, to continue to listen, to continue to honor both the shadows and the light. You are the one the ancestors dreamed of, the one who has the freedom, the safety, and the consciousness to finally hear their stories. You are their hope, and in healing their legacy, you fully become yourself. Of course, here is the translation of points 8 through 10, rendered in the proper voice and style for the English-speaking audience. We have walked a long path together today, through the quiet language of your body, through the misty landscapes of your dreams, to the very heart of what it means to be a human, alive right now. And perhaps you are asking, so what is the solution? What do I do with all of this knowledge? The truth is, the solution is not an action. It is a change in perception. You do not need to fix your past or heal your ancestors. Empty promises that you can erase all pain are an illusion. The simple, realistic idea is this: stop seeing your unexplained feelings as symptoms of being broken. Start seeing them as the beginning of a dialogue. Every bout of baseless anxiety is not a failure of your nervous system, but perhaps a knock on the door from an ancestor who knew fear. Every wave of unexplainable sorrow is not a chemical imbalance, but perhaps the echo of a story of love and loss that is asking to be witnessed. Every sudden insight or surge of strength is not an accident, but a gift passed down through the generations. The solution is to simply change the question. Instead of asking, "What is wrong with me?" begin to ask, "What is trying to speak to me?" This is why it is so crucial not just to know, but to remember and to feel. Knowledge is a cold fact stored in the mind. You know you had ancestors. This is information. But memory is the living story stored in your cells, and feeling is the language that memory uses to speak to you. Knowledge holds the past at arm's length. Feeling allows it to become a part of your strength in the present. I offer you a new point of view on yourself. You are not the end result of your family line. You are a living bridge. You are the one in whom all past voices can find peace, and the one who determines which songs will echo into the future. Your inner work is not a selfish indulgence. It is a sacred labor that has meaning for those who came before you and for those who may come after. See yourself not as a person who has a past, but as a living ancestor of the future, creating a legacy of peace or a legacy of war within yourself, right now. The choice is yours in every breath, and I want you to know you are not alone in your experience. At this very second, all over the world, thousands, millions of souls are feeling these same inexplicable currents within them. They are waking from strange dreams. They are carrying a heaviness they cannot explain. They feel a pull toward places they have never been. You are part of a vast, silent community of those who are beginning to remember. Your inner truth is important. In a world that screams at you to be something else, your internal whisper, the quiet voice of your soul and your blood, it is the most authentic thing you own. Trust it, even when it contradicts logic, even when no one else can hear it. It is your true compass. And remember, this path is not always easy. There will be days when the past feels heavy. There will be moments when you feel lost in these inner labyrinths. That is normal. And even if it is difficult now, it is part of the path. Healing is not a straight line to the light. It is a spiral. You will return to old feelings again and again, but each time with more wisdom and with more love. Be patient with yourself. Be kind to your own heart. You are doing tremendous work. Let this conversation be the beginning of your own unique search. What does your silence remember?